Welcome back, everybody. Today we will continue our previous session where we talk about updating the user's collection with regards to what active subscription they have, and therefore allowing them to access what subscribers' content or what content creators' content they are subscribed to. So let's get started on this. So looking at the payload for the Stripe subscription for updating and deleted, one of the key things we'll be using is the subscription ID. We'll basically use the subscription ID to look into our database to identify the subscription, and then subsequently use the subscription data we have configured in the backend to query the users, i.e. the subscriber, and then add the content creator ID into that subscriber's supported creator field. And then if the status is not active, we'll just remove it. So you can read a lot more about statuses here on the docs, but I'm just taking a binary where active, you have to be active to be able to look at the content creators content, else we're not having access to it. And this is a set of code I've written up. So here, if the event type is deleted or updated, let's go to that subscription, look for that ID, that subscription ID that equals to the payload ID. And then we will update some metadata about the subscription, i.e. the status and the end time. And then if it's active, let's grab the subscriber ID based on the document, update that subscriber, i.e. the user document, with the supported content of adding in the content creator's reference. Else, let's remove it. And I already have deployed this as a cloud function. So let's check out to see how it works. So I am gonna, if we look at our backend again, so I've reset the app a little to show you to start from a blank state so we don't get confused. So here we have a pretty blank kind of canvas in terms of users. So this is the buyer, there's nothing here. And so the users is only that membership we have created tutorials ago. So let's go to browse content, and I'm gonna go subscribe. As always, this will load a payment link. I'm just gonna type a random email out. And I'm gonna just type this and press subscribe. So once I have successfully subscribed to this content creator, so what's going to happen is, firstly, the checkout session webhook cloud function will load, and you can see here this is what's been created already. Document has also been updated with the status from the subscription webhook and the end date of February the 15th for this, because it's a monthly plan. And then if we go to the buyer's document, you can see the supported creator is, i.e. the seller's content creator user reference. That's pretty awesome here. So what can we do with this now because of this information? So if we look at it now, you can't subscribe anymore. So what I want to do next, right? So now that we have configured kind of like the backend database for our, in terms of like updating the user reference, in terms of updating the user document with who they've subscribed, let's build the rest of the front end about accessing content and then allowing the content creator to post content. So very basic. I'm just going to speed through this. So if you recall, this is the profile page of the content creator or any user. And let's just say you have to, in order to post content, we need the user to have the Stripe charges enabled, right, to access this. So when they click my content, they go to this page and then they can add content. And when they press this kind of fab, they simply just add something, right? Like text field and buttons. Oh, add a photo button and post. Very basic, because ultimately your app's feature would basically depend on you, but I'm just showing you how it all works. So let's configure that. So when the content creator presses my content, they navigate to the content page. And then on this page, on the my content page, let's get a back button. I'm just going to show when they press this, they're going to bring up a bottom sheet, and the bottom sheet will basically be this add content bottom sheet. Enable drag, use safe area. So let's go to the content bottom sheet, and then I'm just going to remove this padding here, and maybe let's make it easier. Let's not include a photo, just for simplicity's sake. We're just going to have a post. And if you recall the content, we have a database structure of text and time and image, which we have now removed. But it's very basic setup. I'm just going to speed through this to show you how it all works in the end. But ultimately, your app is your design and what you want to capture. And then when the user press post, I'm just going to go to create document. And then I'm going to create a content document. And then I'm going to set up the creator ref as the authenticated user ref. And I'm going to add the text from the widget. So it'll be the widget state, this widget. And then the creator time will be the current time. And then I'm just going to dismiss the bottom sheet here. Okay, now that's done. What I want to do here on my content page, let's also show the content that the user has created. So I'm just going to quickly do this. I'm going to add some a container with infinite width, height, and I'm just going to add something very basic, 2 text field, text and the posted time. And maybe I'll just make this container a bit prettier if I want. Maybe add some padding here of 16, and then make this container to be a different field so we know what's going on. Add some padding here of 16. So when we run this query collection on content, where the creator is equal to the authenticated user ref, I'm going to order it by creator time in descending order. So that's what it looks like. And the text, hypothetically, the text will say content text, and the time will be the content document created time. Maybe I just add a date here. Awesome. So that's what it looks like. Now that's done. Now from the buyer's perspective, right? I'm going to deploy this Firebase index as well. From the buyer's perspective, so we have a supported content tab here. So here, let's just show the page. Let's just show who we've subscribed to. So in order to do that, maybe I just put in a grid view as well and then add some padding to this grid view. Maybe just show the photos of the supported content creators. And then I'm going to generate dynamic children. And the dynamic children I'm going to generate is from authenticated user, supported creators. So I'm just going to call it supported creator ref, or supported creator list. Press save. And then I'm also going to add maybe just an image container. And then I'm going to add a document from reference, users, and then supported creators items. And now we'll be able to access the user's photo. Okay, it's kind of blank here, but when you load the app, it will be fine. So now, when they press each of these individual, I'm going to navigate to a creator content page, which I'm just going to replicate exactly how it is, right, from the add content page here that the creator can access. So this is called a creator content. Oh wait, this is the my content page. So I'm just going to search this, and I'm going to quickly paste it into the content creators page. And what we need here is basically a parameter here now. It's called the content creator user ref of type users. Document reference is required. Now I'm going to update this query to filter for, instead of the creator ref equal to the authenticated user, it's going to be equal to the page parameters user ref. And now that's done. So now you can see the content creators document from a subscriber's perspective. That's just a normal back button, that's fine. And then what else I got to do? So now that's done, maybe I just just call it stop here and test the app out to see what it looks like and make improvements on it. So one thing I forgot is that for supported creators page, we need to add action to navigate to the content creators page. So I'm going to just add this action and I just pass in the list item and that should be it. So let's refresh the app to see what it looks like. So now that the app has loaded, you can see here we have the browse creator page, which already have subscribe, hence the button's no longer there. But if we go to the my currently supported content creator, you can see here there's nothing posted because this John Smith hasn't posted anything, right? John Doe is the subscriber. So I'm going to log out and log into John Smith's account. So I think it's John at john.com. So if I log in, oops, it's John at john.com. Now log in, and then I go to, well, I mean, I can remove all these because to not show myself, so I don't subscribe to myself and so on. But that's just a UI change. But if I go to my content and add a content, I say hello world, this is amazing, and press post, you can see this is my content. Of course, we can add information about deleting posts and things like that to expand the app further, but ultimately it's all these are quite simple things, which I won't cover because the focus is building a Stripe marketplace subscription. And then let's go back to John Doe's account. The login email is john@doe.com. And then, so if we go back to the content, we can see here, wow, we can actually see John Smith's content. And then basically this was behind a paywall, right? So what happens if we cancel the subscription? Ultimately, you can have an API call here to, another button to cancel the subscription, and which is quite easy to do. But all you got to do here is just cancel subscription API call. So press a delete and pass in a subscription ID. And what should happen is basically the API call will run, and then we will receive a deleted event. It will basically update this, and then the user will be able to, this kind of like this supported creator will basically get removed. And I can hypothetically simulate what's going to happen already. So let's just say I do this, right? I'm going to go to Stripe directly. This is the current subscription. I'm just going to end this here right now, immediately, no refund. And then now the subscription is canceled. If we go back to the subscription thing, we can actually see the document. We can actually see the status is now canceled. And then if we go to the users collection of John, you can see there's no supported John Doe. You can see there's no supported content. Hence, if we go to browse the supported creator, it's blank now. That's how it would work. So we have actually covered a lot here. We actually talked through a lot of the concepts in terms of building a marketplace subscription. This is highly valuable because you often see a lot of platforms do it nowadays. For example, YouTube membership and Patreon, and even the very famous OnlyFans, where creators can post information and users need to subscribe to them to access those contents. I really hope you enjoyed this whole series, and remember to comment, like, and subscribe for more content on Flutterflow, or remember to support me with the links below. Thanks. Bye.